Hi everyone, I am back after I don't know how long, but at least the whole of the pandemic, I think. This is actually the first time I've put makeup on in I don't know how long either. But today my brain decided, oh, you know what, you're going to be talking to your writing group in like 10 minutes, so now's a great time to start a vlog, right? So here I am. Have I been doing a lot of reading through the last year and a bit? No. I don't know if anyone else has found in the pandemic that they did lots of reading, but for me it seemed to have the opposite effect, weirdly. This is my TBR behind me, so book buying has not stopped, but reading just kind of came to a standstill. I don't know why. I don't know if I was just having, like, my brain needed a break for things for a while. I don't know. But this year, 2022, I am now reading again, and it's quite exciting. Am I reading the books on my TBR? No. I am reading new books. But eventually I'm going to get to the TBR behind me, a little bit at a time. And I wanted to talk about one of the books I just read for my book club, which is Iron Widow by J. Zhao. I am sorry if the pronunciation's a little off, but the book is very good. I actually wasn't excited about reading this one when I read the blurb, because I kind of expected Pacific Rim, the way they focused on the chrysalises so heavily in the blurb, at least from my point of view. But it was a really pleasant surprise, this book. I loved it, like 5 stars. It's so good. And I think the main reason is because the world building is very rich. I found that, like, the imagery was just very vivid in my head while I was reading it. I felt like I was there. The characters are very well rounded out, all very different to each other. And I loved the main character, Shay-chan, I think is how you pronounce their name. But yeah, I really loved the book, and I think it's because it focused on the world and the characters more than just like, oh, there's giant things fighting each other, which is what was not grabbing me. Like, I love being immersed in a world and learning more about the characters and their trials and tribulations, and this book like delivered everything that I wanted in a sci-fi fantasy book. I feel like I'm raving about it, but seriously, if you haven't read it yet, pick it up. It's so good, and I think it's kind of excited me to read more as well, which is fantastic, and the cover's gorgeous. What more could you want? I feel like I'm selling this, but I'm not. It's just a very good book. So what else have I been up to? Not a lot. Well, a lot and not a lot all at the same time. We've moved. You can probably tell from the backdrop behind me, this is not my normal bookcase backdrop. My husband's in the military, so we move every so often. And moving during a pandemic was not something we wanted to do, but you know, here we are. And we're kind of getting settled now. It's been a little bit disruptive. We moved in here not quite a year ago, and we've still got boxes everywhere. It's kind of disheartening looking around. Like, I'm not going to turn the camera around, it's just chaos of boxes. I feel like I'm rambling a lot, and I think it's just because I'm excited to be back in front of a camera and talking to you guys. And I hope you're excited to see me back. I don't know what this vlog's going to look like. It may actually spread over more than one day, because I really do have to get onto my writing group. They're probably like, where is she? And I kind of use the term writing group a little bit loosely. We were, pre-pandemic, very much a writing group. Like, we would meet every week in a different coffee shop to help local businesses, you know, with custom at local businesses, and work on our projects. Whether that was, for me, a novel, for another lady was doing some work as well as thinking about a novel, another lady doing D&D character creation, that kind of writing. So there was all kinds of different things happening. But since we've sort of moved on to Zoom, it's difficult to write and Zoom at the same time, because it feels more like you have to be chatty and active on Zoom rather than just like focusing on a computer screen or laptop or whatever to be writing. So my novel is at around 60,000 words, a little bit over. And I'm hoping to get back into writing. I'm actually excited that I feel like doing a video today. Maybe that means that I'm going to feel like writing sometime, maybe this week or next week, as well as getting back into books more. Shall I rave about it some more? Oh, another book that I've read recently that I very much enjoyed was the book 1 of the Murderbot Diaries, which is All Systems Red. Very good, very short, so it's a very quick read. Can I say very anymore? There's 5, 6, how many books? I don't know, there's a few books in the series so far, and I definitely want to read the rest of them. Book 1 was very different than what I was expecting. I mean, I was excited to read it anyway from the description, but it was a very interesting take on sci-fi and robots in general. And I'm very interested to see where it goes throughout the series. So have any of you read the series, and what did you think about it? No spoilers though, please, but what did you think about it? Let me know below. Okay, I really need to get to my writing group. I keep looking over there because that's where my computer is, in a different room, and that's where I need to zoom. So I'm gonna go and chat with the girls and catch up, because we catch up with each other's lives. A lot of us are long distance now because Brian and I moved, but another couple of ladies have moved as well, so we're all sort of chit-chatting and catching up at writing group. So I don't know what else is going to happen in this vlog, but more things. Okay, so that was about 4 hours of writing group. That's a long time. We usually talk for a long time, but that was a long time. Did we talk about writing? Not really, but we did talk about some creative projects that we all want to do, art stuff specifically. I've been trying to get back into doing more arty and creative hobbies recently, because I think I've fallen out of having hobbies, which is not healthy. So I've been thinking about getting some canvas and just doing something abstract painting wise, just so that I can get something creative from my brain onto a canvas or a paper or whatever, and see where it goes from there. One of the things that I learned when I was at university is don't treat your work as precious, and I think that has stuck with me because I've always kind of been a bit of a perfectionist, and approaching art with that mentality is not the most freeing, because it kind of makes me not want to start something in case it's not going to be perfect, and obviously nothing's going to be perfect ever, but it's also definitely not going to be perfect if you're just learning and starting out. You know, you've got to learn that you're making mistakes as you go, but you can correct them if you're doing sketches and whatever. I'm not the best at sketching, so that's something I would need to work on. So that's what I'm thinking. Something abstract would be a little bit more freeing, a bit more flow. So yeah, that's something I want to work on. And then the other girls were talking about how they want to do a watercolor class together and get some creativity back in everybody's lives. This is definitely a really rambly video, and I'm so sorry for that. I guess this is what happens when you sit down to do a vlog and have no direction of where you're going. But I guess one thing I can talk about is what my next read is going to be, and it is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I love Schwab's writing, so I'm excited to read this. I like the dark and twisty stories that they create. This one in particular seems to be about a girl named Olivia. Yeah, Olivia, who receives a letter beckoning her back to her family's estate in Gallant, but no one there sent her the letter. But I guess she doesn't know that, and they don't tell her how it could have happened or what's haunting the manor and the grounds, and there's a door that she should never go in, and it just sounds very spooky and creepy and dark and twisty, and I am definitely all over those kinds of books. And this cover, hopefully that's picking up on the screen, is just gorgeous. Like, everything about it pulls me to look for the little details and little clues, because Schwab said that there's actually lots of little hidden secrets in the cover, so I can't wait to look more on this and figure out how things on the cover pair with the things in the books. Yeah, and I was lucky enough to get one of the signed editions from Barnes & Noble. I think Schwab is one of those authors that no matter what they write, I am going to read it. I want to read everything. There's still a lot that I haven't yet read, like Dark Shades of Magic is probably on the shelf behind me here. I haven't done that series yet, but I love the Monsters of Verity in particular, and I need to finish the Vicious series. And then yeah, I've got Dark Shades of Magic to go. I also have somewhere on the shelves behind me is the Archived and Unbound, another duology. So yeah, there's a few, and there's more to get. So I'm working my way through. I'm kind of late to their writing, but yeah, I'm really excited about this. Have you read it? Let me know, and let me know if there's any authors that you are like, I need to buy everything that they write, because I love discovering new authors. So if you've got any recommendations, please send them my way. In non-reading related news, Brian and I have some barn swallows that are nesting on the patio, on the porch area. This is their second brood at the moment. The first brood was 4 little balls of fluff that turned into wonderful flying swallows later, and then now we've got the second brood, and they are chaos. I mean, actual chaos personified. The first brood was like, they all grew at the same rate, same size, same stage of development. Then when it got to the flying lesson time, they were all flying within a couple of days. Like literally one day 2 of them were out, the next day all of them were out flying. And they kept coming back to the nest until they were good to go, and then they're off. But this lot, they seemed to hatch very weirdly. They didn't all hatch the same day, as the first brood hatched all 4 in the same day. This has been like spread across 6 days. Weird. And so they're at different stages of development. So 2 of them are very podgy and very good flyers, and then the third one is trying its best to fly, and it's doing okay but not great lift yet. And then the fourth one is not very good at all yet. I think that must have been the last one, so it's about a week behind everybody, but he's trying its best. But every time it comes out of the nest, it kind of like just flutters to the floor. So we are on put the bird back in the nest duty, although that was for the last few days, and I think we're at the point now where it's decided that it doesn't need to jump out anymore, because the 2 good flyers are all over the place, and then the third one is kind of in and out a little bit now. So the fourth one has realised it doesn't actually need to jump out anymore. It can just wait and it'll be okay, and it can go when it's ready. But they're adorable. I've got some video. If I can figure out how to add video in my video, I'll put it here. It's been really fun to see them hatch and grow into adult birds. I've seen little baby birds before, but not this close. Like, we literally look out the window and see them on the patio. So it has been really, really fun to see that. And now I think I probably am rambling, so even more than the rambling, double ramble. So I think I'm gonna leave this video. I don't think it's going to be a multi-day vlog because this is probably already really long, but it's really good to be back, and thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.